JayZ and Biggie, we were just talking about, you know, creating perfect albums, and you were talking earlier actually about MCs and rappers.
Right.
So, first take me, you said JayZ was the perfect MC. He was the number one MC, and Biggie was the number one rapper.
Right.
And their
Biggie,
spots were one and two, basically.
Like they're 1 and 2 in both respective categories. To me, JayZ was the best lyricist, making him the best MC.
Mm-hmm.
And well, actually, I'm not gonna say was. I'm gonna say JayZ is the best MC, and Big, alive or dead, was the best rapper. And then the number 2 in each spot were them two reversed. And I say that because I look at JayZ lyrically as like untouchable, and then I look at Big as just as untouchable, but like Jay had an edge on him. But then I look at the record making abilities of both of them, and I go, well, Biggie was just a little bit edge on him. So, I would say he's the better rapper, and Jay's the better MC. So I would put them 1 and 2 in each other's categories.
Do you think if Big hadn't passed, like Jay would have still seen the kind of fame and acclaim that he has since then?
Yes. The reason why is because they were two different guys. That's one. And they made two different kinds of records. That's two. And their lives were different. That's three. So what they rapped about, it might have felt similar, but they were way different. Because one guy was giving you his actual life, and the other guy was living his life at the same time that he was rapping it. This guy told you from the beginning of his life, and he was still telling you tales of his life. This guy was telling you the life that was just happening at that precise moment. And that would make lives differently. That would make stories different. Yes, they started growing together. They started growing with their relationship that started, but they would have definitely still had success. And it would have been crazy because they respected each other and they were friends. So just imagine, they would have had that success together. They would have made records together. How do you not have that success when you're doing it together? I would have practically dared half of the rappers that have record careers now to have even would have tried to make records if Big was still alive and Jay were both together being who they were. Like, you would either have to sign to Biggie's label or sign to Jay's label to make any kind of noise. Like, that would have been, like, the only way you could get ushered in is by these two unbelievable monsters being the guys who usher you in, who let you rap.
Wow. And so talk about, you were saying Reasonable Doubt and Blueprint, the first one, were Jay's basically two perfect albums, and
Yeah,
Life After Death
Life After Death
was Biggie's.
And Ready to Die were two perfect albums. JayZ had two perfect albums. Snoop Dogg had a perfect album with Doggy Style. Ice Cube had two perfect albums. His first two albums were perfect. NWA had two perfect albums. Run DMC had two perfect albums. Tribe Called Quest had two perfect albums.
Outkast?
Outkast had, I'd say two. They came close on some others, but they had two. I mean, you're talking about Andre 3000, who's one of the best MCs ever.
Do you have a top 10?
Top 10 MCs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But top 10 MCs or rappers?
Both.
Yeah, I probably do. And I really, I'm not going to sit here and try to break them down, but I can name a bunch of guys who should be looked at as the best MCs, and then a bunch of guys who should be looked at as the best rappers. Because I do think there's a very serious difference between rappers and MCs. And yes, there's some MCs that are actually some of the best rappers, but, if you ask me who I'm looking for, I'd rather find a dope MC and bring him to the rap side. Because the rap side is the records, is the image, is the everything. But the MC is that pure rhyme ability. Like, it's hard to find guys with that pure MC ability. You can find a bunch of guys who can rap. There's a bunch of dudes who can rap. There's a bunch of guys who get looked at like great record-making guys, but you put them in a booth next to Pusha T or Fabulous, and they just get blown off the planet. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you was rapping? Why was you rapping? You should have just stayed over there, went to the studio, made that record, and just don't come over here with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's MCs, like it's almost like foolish for somebody to be on the same record with Andre 3000 if he's rhyming. If it ain't his record and he's just on it rhyming, you damn near dangerous waters right there. You're almost asking to get your ass cut in half because he is ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
Where does Eminem's obviously been off the scene for a while.
Eminem's been off the scene, but please don't mistake that off the scene for inability to get busy.
No.
He's
And I was
he's insane. Eminem is a monster. That, to me, he's the white guy that everybody was like, oh, we're dead wrong right now for just saying he's doing it because he's a white guy. He's not doing it because he's a white guy. He's doing it because he gets busy. And you see what I'm saying? There's a bunch of guys who looked at him when he first came out and was like, oh, he's only getting on because he's white. And nah, you know what? That might have been part of it. But his natural ability to be an unbelievable MC made him one of the best rappers around.
Big Pun?
Big Pun was a dope MC. Dope. I mean, and he made good records.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a much better MC than he was a rapper.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Nas, one of the best MCs around. Rakim, best MCs around. You know what I'm saying? Like I can name a bunch of dope MCs, and then it's easy to be rappers. It's just hard to get a super dope MC to be a great rapper. It's such a hard thing. But when you do, whew, them rappers damn near are like not even in this guy's same circumference. Yeah, you can still be a rapper, but you can't look at Biggie, Tupac, JayZ in that rap field and go, oh, I deserve to be there. Nah. You might deserve to be in the rap field, but there's an upper echelon of rappers that were great MCs first and became great rappers.
Think about like the eras when these people were out that we're talking about. Think about the other MCs that were out, or the other rappers that were out at the time. Was the field as big as it is now?
Well,
because
the field couldn't have been as big because the sport was growing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the sport was growing. You were in a growth department. See, the problem is that the media actually makes you believe that you can be successful as a rapper. So, now you have more kids who just think they can do it. So while you have more kids who think they can do it, it's starting to mess up the music because they're not making as the quality of music that we actually need. You know what I'm saying? You're making whacker records because there's so many more guys trying to do it, and you're just trying to speed through your process of making records just to get records out, and then they're coming out whack.
Right.
Instead of taking the time to make classics. And so
the nature of the game
field,
as it is.
Yeah, the field. It was a different field because the game was growing. You know what I'm saying? When the NFL started, what was it, like 12 teams? Now there's 36. Something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Like that, yeah.
Like, it's like 36 teams now. But when it started, it was 16. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it. The NFL had to combine with the AFL to have an actual league. You know what I'm saying? They were playing the same dudes every 2 weeks. So, it's the game is something totally different. Now in the NFL, you might not be able to do a team for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So, yes, the growth is different, and the ability to be good is different, and the quality of the product is different because the more you water it down, the less potent the product's going to be. So the more people you put in the game, and
the lane that you have to get on also gets a little bit narrower.
It does, but forget the lane to get on. You can get the lane to get on, but the lane to succeed is just ridiculous. It's whack. It's over. Like, it's hard to succeed. You can get in. You know what I'm saying? You could be somebody's homie and get a record deal, but are you going to succeed is a totally different monster.